Yes, sir.
10 gallons.
Right.
One of the most ruthless crimes that I investigated for Official Detective magazine involved a trunk, a body, and a ruthless killer named Henry Kendall. The St. Louis, Missouri police were first put on Kendall's trail when he made what he thought was going to be a routine stop at a service station. What the station attendant saw in the back of Kendall's car was shocking enough, but it was only the beginning.
I'm Lieutenant Copeland. The floor superintendent says we can talk to Eddie Taylor for a few minutes.
Well, somebody ought to talk to him. He keeps mumbling something about a body. Says he saw one in the trunk of a car.
He was probably hit hard enough to see a lot of things.
This way, please.
Lieutenant Copeland, Detective Brewster.
Hi. You find him?
And tell us what happened, Eddie.
Well, this guy comes in, asks for gas. Starting to put it in. The trunk of his car swings open. I see a body. I wasn't smart. I tried to take him myself. He used the butt of his gun on me. That's about all I remember till I woke up here.
What about the body? Was it a man or a woman?
Woman. Gray hair. Small.
Can you describe the man who hit you?
Yeah. He's around 30, about 6 foot tall. Husky. I took a good belt at him. I'm no cream puff. He just brushed me off and let me have it.
What kind of a car was he driving?
Blue sedan, old one.
Did you get the number?
Never had a chance.
Was there anyone else in the car with him?
Just a body.
You're gonna be all right, Eddie. Thanks.
Officers Copeland and Brewster sent out a description of the man who had slugged Eddie Taylor, along with Eddie's statement that he had seen a body in the trunk of the car. The newspapers had a field day with the story, and Eddie became a local celebrity. All the dailies carried his picture, and one enterprising reporter induced him to recall that the hand he saw was possibly decorated with 2 or 3 large diamond rings. But Copeland and Brewster, after checking with their department's Missing Persons Bureau, found no recent reports of anyone missing. And they were almost ready to believe that Eddie's imagination was a little wild.
Lieutenant Copeland. Oh, yes, Sergeant. What road? Yeah, I know it. We'll be right out. The farmer near St. Charles found a woman's body. I'll have the coroner meet us out there. Hey, Brewster. Look. Now, what do you make of it, Doc?
It's homicide, all right. Whoever left her here didn't give her much of a burial.
You seen anyone around here recently?
Nope. One of the dogs is making a racket a few nights ago, but I figured he's after possum.
What night was it the dog first made the racket?
Oh, Saturday. I sleep late on Sunday mornings. I wasn't getting up for nobody.
That's the same day Eddie Taylor was slugged.
Might have been scared off by the dogs before they had a chance to bury her.
Mr. Wagner, have you had a car out here lately?
No.
We better get the lab to send someone out and make a cast and pictures of those tracks. How soon can you come up with a report on it, Doc?
How about 4 this afternoon?
Right. Let's go.
Doc Turner was as good as his word. The autopsy revealed the deceased to be a woman in her middle 50s. She had died of strangulation and had been dead for 3 or 4 days. A complete description was circulated immediately, and routine photographic reproductions of her dentures were sent around to dental labs and dentists, and a copy of her fingerprints to Washington, D.C. Eddie Taylor, still the center of the show, was put to work with a police artist.
How about it, Eddie? Does that do it?
That's good. Scares me just to look at him again.
We've got some mug books we want you to look over while you're here, Eddie.
A guy like that shouldn't be too hard to find, should he?
You never know.
After the discovery of the body, several persons provided leads, but none developed into anything until Barbara Lake of Toledo, Ohio, put in an appearance. She was the niece of a woman named Addie Phillips Lake, whose description tallied with that of the woman found on John Wagner's farm. Barbara was taken to the morgue, where she made tentative identification of the woman as her aunt. This facilitated a subsequent check of the dental charts, which confirmed the identification.
When was the last time you saw your Aunt, Miss Lake?
About 3 months ago. But I've corresponded with her regularly.
And she's always answered?
Yes, I received this from her day before yesterday.
Airmail. The woman we have has been dead for at least a week. Well, there's nothing here to indicate she was bothered by anything. What brought you to St. Louis?
Well, that's the second letter she sent me without waiting for an answer. Now, she's never done that before. So when I read the newspaper reports about a woman being found, naturally I was worried. I've called the past 2 nights and I didn't get an answer.
Does your aunt have any other relatives here in St. Louis?
No, I'm the only one, here or anywhere.
What about her friends?
Well, she kept pretty much to herself. Except lately, she wrote me about a man who was taking care of some financial matters for her.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, I met him once, several months ago when I was here in St. Louis. A man named Lester Kirby. I believe he's a stockbroker.
And let's go out and check the house.
Miss Lake! Miss Lake! When's your aunt coming back?
What is it, son?
Well, I'm supposed to cut the lawn, but I have to get her okay first. I haven't seen her for a week, and I've been ringing the doorbell every day.
Well, what day was the last time you saw her?
Why, is something wrong?
What day was the last time you saw her?
Last Saturday, she left in a car with somebody I'd never seen before.
What did he look like?
Oh, he was a man about 30. Big guy. I didn't pay much attention to him. I tried to ask her about the lawn, but she said somebody was sick and she didn't have time to talk to me.
Did she say who that was?
No, they just got into a car and drove away.
Any idea who your aunt might be concerned about?
No.
What kind of a car was this man driving?
Sedan, an old one. I've seen it since. Monday morning when I went to school.
Now, what's your name, young man?
Ray Young.
Here's my card. If you see that car around here again or anyone hanging around this house, why, call me at headquarters immediately.
Miss Addie's not the woman in the trunk the papers have been writing up, is she?
I'm afraid she is, son.
Your aunt was a tidy housekeeper.
Well, she didn't have very much else to do.
Well, with this kind of money, she wouldn't have to do anything. These bank books indicate savings of several $100,000. Were you aware your aunt had this kind of money?
My grandfather left her quite a bit. And I believe that she was very prudent about her investments.
Did she have a lawyer?
Not that I know of. Any problem she had would be taken care of the trust department of the bank, or Mr. Kirby.
Yes, I'd say from some of these reports and correspondence, she placed a great deal of faith in Mr. Kirby.
Before going over to interrogate Lester Kirby, officers Copeland and Brewster checked on his background. It was impeccable. He had been a member of a prominent Eastern brokerage firm for many years before opening his own investment counseling business.
It's absolutely astounding. I had dinner with Addie a week ago. She was to call me this week, today in fact, about meeting with her over the weekend. It never occurred to me that this gruesome business in the newspaper involved Addie.
Miss Lake's niece tells us you advised her aunt on certain financial matters.
You're referring to Miss Barbara Lake?
Yes.
That's true. Addie was one of my clients. Most of her affairs have been handled by the bank through the years. But as you know, they're rather conservative. I suggested some investments that had a potentiality of a greater return.
What was that?
Well, for one thing, an electronics company, Barca Unlimited.
Barca?
That's an old Carthaginian word for lightning.
How much money did Miss Lake invest in the company?
Considerable amount.
How much?
Look, gentlemen, I don't know where this conversation is leading. I assume that anyone who was close to Miss Lake, or who has important business dealings with her, such as I have, is a likely suspect in a matter like this. If such is the case, I'd like to consult my attorneys before I discuss her affairs any further. But I assure you, gentlemen, the last time I saw Addie Lake, she was alive and well.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes? Are you the gentleman from the police department?
Lieutenant Copeland. My partner said Brewster.
Would you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Now, how can I help you?
We'd like to know how deeply involved Lester Kirby had become in the financial affairs of Addie Phillips Lake.
That's a good question. Until 6 months ago, the bank handled all of her affairs. About that time, Miss Lake came into the bank with Mr. Kirby. She gave him a limited power of attorney to make withdrawals from one of her accounts for the purpose of buying stocks. And subsequently, she expanded Mr. Kirby's authority so he could use any of her accounts.
And did he?
Mr. Kirby kept those accounts very active. And I might add, not without success. At the current market values, the stock purchased by Mr. Kirby for Miss Lake would net her, well, close to $50,000.
Could he have used her money to make some investments that your trust department wouldn't know about?
Possibly, but he's given us regular reports on transactions made in her behalf.
What do you know about a company called Barca Unlimited?
It's a small company, a new company with limited capital. I can look it up for you.
Did Miss Addie Lake leave a will?
Her niece, Barbara, is the principal beneficiary in the one that we have, along with a certain number of charities. But, of course, it's possible that she may have made out a revised will.
Without the bank's knowledge?
Well, that's been done before. There is something that I think you gentlemen should know. I've always had Miss Lake's confidence, and I have never violated it. But under the circumstances, I feel compelled to tell you that Addie Lake and Lester Kirby were secretly married 10 days ago in Juarez, Mexico.
Lester Kirby had now become a prime suspect, although his description in no way matched that of the hulking driver of the automobile in which Eddie Taylor had first seen the body of Addie Lake. Officers Copeland and Brewster, armed with a search warrant, made a return trip to Kirby's office. But Kirby was gone.
Kirby's a businessman. You must know where he can be reached.
He left on urgent business. He didn't have time to leave me any instructions.
Did you know that Kirby and Addie Lake had been married?
No. No, I didn't.
Did you see the artist sketch in the newspaper of the man who drove the car with a body in its trunk?
Yes?
Have you ever seen that man?
No. No, of course not.
Where does Kirby keep the rest of his papers?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just his secretary. I couldn't tell you that.
Further search of Kirby's office and apartment failed to turn up a single clue. It was obvious that Kirby had gone into deliberate hiding, and an all-points bulletin was sent out for his apprehension.
I found this in one of Aunt Addie's closets.
It's a new will, all right. But it isn't signed or notarized. That won't do anyone any good.
No, but if it had been, Mr. Kirby would have been her principal heir. Can't you do something?
Well, we're looking for Kirby right now, Miss Lake. We'll find him.
Aunt Addie was always such a trusting soul, but I never thought anything like this would happen to her.
Had your aunt told you about her marriage to Kirby?
No. When were they married?
Recently.
Are you still living at your aunt's house?
Yes.
It doesn't worry you to stay there?
No.
Lieutenant Copeland. Yes, Mr. Jordan.
Kirby's in trouble with the Barker Corporation. I thought you'd like to know. He pyramided the stock too high. Didn't have enough behind it. The exchange authorities are moving in. If we were still advising Miss Lake, we would get her out of that immediately. It helps to explain a lot.
Well, thanks, Mr. Jordan. We could use a tip from the stock market on the whereabouts of Lester Kirby. Fine. Goodbye. Kirby got hit by lightning, all right.
Barker in trouble?
Plenty. He could use a lot of his late wife's money. You know something, Sid?
What?
It doesn't figure Kirby knocking her off this way before the new will was signed.
Change. Get out of here.
Well, I finally caught up with you.
Get out of here. I'll call the police.
I'm
sign your own death warrant? You're not calling anybody. Where's my money?
You're a fool to come out here.
I had to take a chance.
You've got to give me time.
I've been reading the papers. That old lady had thousands.
It takes time to work everything out.
Not for me.
Let go of me. I've got some money in my purse.
Get it. Put that away.
You've given me the perfect out. Niece defends herself against killer. Don't take another step.
I should have known I couldn't trust a dame like you. I should have taken my money first.
I figured you might have been behind this.
I can get rid of you, too.
You need me, Barbara. And I can use you.
All right. Talk.
I'm the only one who knows about this. It's easy to get the police to believe that he was after both you and your aunt. I'll go along for a price. We'll break the kitchen lock. Make it look like he forced the door and broke in. When the police come, I'll duck out of here, and you'll have a perfect case of self-defense.
All right. I'll go along with you.
I called as soon as I saw it. I'm sure this is the car.
Could be. Try the cask. This is it, Al. Did you see anyone going to the lake house today?
No, I was just coming home from school. I made the call from in the... Hey, look!
Doctor, get me a doctor. Get the girl. She started this.
Watch him sit. I'll take a look inside.
Right.
Where is he?
Outside. You're coming down to headquarters, Kirby. Maybe you better come along with him, young lady. Just a minute. Now, let's go.
Barbara's shot proved fatal. But unfortunately, as far as she was concerned, it didn't work as quickly as she and Lester Kirby had hoped it would. Henry Kendall lived long enough to relate the whole gruesome story. Barbara was a profligate heiress herself. But having spent her own fortune, she was counting on her aunt's. She became aware of Lester Kirby's involvement with her aunt and hired Kendall to do away with her, thinking she might pin the blame on Kirby. Kendall, the killer, went to Addie Lake's house with the story that Barbara Lake was ill in a downtown St. Louis rooming house. By means of this story, he lured the aunt there and did away with her. Barbara received a sentence of life imprisonment, and Kirby, whose financial manipulations had been exposed, received a long prison term for grand theft. Next week, we'll bring you another dramatic and actual crime report from the files of Official Detective Magazine.